Howdy, y'all.
Hi, guys.
It's Ryan
and Angela
from the BitterBassman.com/net. I don't know. There's not a website. There's a Teespring store.
.org.
.org.
You own the web name.
There's
nothing there.
We're not really from BitterBassman.com. We're actually from RNA Music, deep in the heart of Texas. Right there. Paul's got one of those above his fireplace.
No, I don't.
Because he loves Texas.
No, I don't.
Stuffed armadillo, a mockingbird, a mesquite tree in his front yard. All the Texas stuff.
Yeah, he's a big fan. And
Blue
a Dallas
bonnets
Cowboy
in his front
fan.
yard.
As
soon as you walk in, you see a Troy Aikman altar.
I can't even get a word out. That is so offensive. I do not offend easy.
He's so offended now. No, we're from RNA Music, your favorite mom and pop guitar shop and lesson studio.
Yeah.
And we're trying to laugh and have a good time. Miss Angela's been sick. She's not feeling so hot. She's got the bronchitis.
Yeah.
But she's here anyway because she cares. Yeah. So we're going to answer your questions. From Texas. First question, Blackjack. Hi, Donna. RNA Music. Hey, Angela. Looks great in the glasses.
Yes, which I actually forgot.
You forgot your glasses today, but she likes your glasses.
I'm like, why is my face so blurry? I can't see my face on the
How come I
screen.
can't read the words?
I can't.
Those are new glasses, Blackjack, which initially I didn't like because she sent me pictures of the frames. And I'm like, I don't like those top ones. She's like, well, I do. I'm like, okay, you should get those. But when she got them, and in person, I'm like, yeah, those look good. You're right. Again, of course. Ryan and Angela, will you guys ever become a drum retailer? Great question, and the answer is maybe. We have had drums here in the past years, mostly because I have some friends who own music stores, and they had a lot of overstock drums. They're like, hey man, why don't you take some of these to your shop and sell them? And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I did, and we did sell them eventually. The problem with drums out here in our location is it's very slow moving, and shipping drums is just dumb. Yeah. Unless you're, a Sweetwater or a Guitar Center or something where you're buying hundreds of thousands of dollars in shipping and discounts. Like a little shipping drum kits is expensive. So I don't know. It's just a slow product out here where we are, and we might in the future, but it depends. I've talked with Pearl, which I love Pearl drums, but it was not feasible for us to work with them. They just wanted a huge buy-in, and like for our location, it wasn't really going to work. But I've talked to D-Drum, which Vinnie Paul played the D-drums, and they're open to working with us on a smaller quantity. So you might, if you do see drum stuff from us soon, it'll probably be the D-Drum stuff, which would be cool.
It'll be very cool.
So there you go. Thanks for the question, Blackjack, and the comments. Appreciate them. Next question. How you doing?
Okay.
You okay?
Can you get my tea?
I can get your tea for you.
Sorry. Thank you. Yes.
We have people. Normally Paul has people to do his bidding, but today
On my off day, I do not.
today he's helping us.
Yes. Thank you.
Next, Driddle. How would you compare your PRS S2 Singlecut to your other Singlecut guitars? Oh, you mean this one right here? But I just happened to. I had total control of the guitar the whole time.
Sure.
Oh, this guy. Is this what you're talking about? This guy?
That's pretty.
Yeah, it's super pretty. I like it. It's in whale blue.
Yeah, one of my favorite colors.
No whales were harmed in the making of this guitar, I can say. I like it. It's different. That's the thing with most of my guitars. Like I have the Washburn Idols, which are a different kind of body shape take on the Singlecuts. I have my Solo 6, which I love. I have the EC1000. I have my CMG Ashleys. The thing I like about this one is it has this contour right here, which is real comfortable on your forearm. So I like it. I do have a little bit.
I like clear knobs.
Yeah.
With the accent of the darker color on the bottom.
It's sexy. I like it. My one complaint is the pots. Ever since I've had it, the pots have been a little scratchy. It's got scratchy pots. Right? Cleaned them many times. Doesn't seem to really help. So I don't know if that was an issue with some of the pots there. Minor. I mean, once you get the volume where you want it, it's fine. But yeah, I like it. I don't actually play it as much as I play some of the others. And to tell the truth, I probably play my SE Washburn a little bit more than I actually play this one, which is kind of weird. Somebody's here.
Somebody's here. Bald-headed guy?
Somebody's here. I don't know.
Big blue truck?
I don't know. We've got a customer. We're going to pause for just a second. Longer. You need some laudanum.
Yes,
I think that fixes everything, right?
I think so.
Laudanum.
And life.
Jack Daniels.
I bet Paul's got some Jack Daniels. So he could probably.
Oh, I hate this taste.
BitterBassMans.
There you go.
Fixes everything. I forgot what question we were on.
We
You're
just
talking
finished.
about the blue guitar.
Oh, the PRS, yes. I like it, you know, but it's one of those ones I won't play it for like a month or two, and I'll be like, man, I haven't played that PRS. And I'll pick it up and go, oh yeah, this is really comfortable. I like this. So I like it. I've been on a Schecter kick lately.
Schecter's good.
Playing that dang Schecter. Hellraiser in church because, you know, it's rock and roll.
One place,
Irony.
one place you should raise hell.
Isn't it ironic, right? Thanks for the question, D. Riddle. Next question, Kevin Spielman. You okay? Need some oxygen?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Oh, you're the best. What is the guitar hanging up in the middle? Oh, well, this was the one in the middle last week, and it's still in the middle. That is a Vola Blaze. Yeah, it's actually glow-in-the-dark paint, I think.
Oh,
So if you turn off the lights,
it glows.
you can barely see that it glows.
Ice,
So,
ice, baby, too cold.
I mean, I don't know where you would play in complete darkness, where you know, you could see the paint, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a Vola Blaze. I like it. It's the right color, trans black, which is fantastic. So check it out. I'll put a link in the description to the website talking about the Blazes. I'm going to try to do some video later today with, you know, some of these are the Volas that were here for our clinic and roadshow we did with Robert and Greg and Jason. And I've got to send most of them back to Vola in the next few days. But before I do, I'm going to try to shoot some videos. So I'll try to do that one. I like that one a lot, so we'll try to get a video of that one for sure. But yeah, Vola Blaze. Blazing. And next question, just fun guitar. Great answers, and thank you for taking the trouble to show both guitars together while walking through the differences. I own an EC1000 already, but would like to add a Schecter to my collection too at some point. You absolutely should. Schecters are awesome. New question, do either of you use any software for recording or for teaching? Teaching software, Mrs. Angela?
No.
No? You use iTunes? Does that count?
I don't think that counts.
Doesn't count?
No. I have a voice pitch app that I started using because I don't think my kids take my word for it whenever they're off key.
You were flat. Like, was I?
And it's just the tuning fork pitch app. So whenever you sing or do, you can see that it'll be on green if it's on, or flat or sharp, it'll be red.
You're all over the place.
Yeah, well, purposefully going all over the place so you can see where it goes.
If you're pitchy or not.
If you're pitchy. So I just sit this right in front of them while they're doing their scales, and then they can see for themselves that Miss Angela isn't lying.
That's brilliant. I didn't know you were using that.
Yeah, so, and it's kept them from, it's called pitch. It's a pitchfork, basically.
Pitch.
And at the top you can see this, you can't see it on the screen, but there's like a little pitchfork right there, and then it shows the keys, and then it'll come around green to the pitchfork if you're on key or not.
Pitch.
That was a
I got a screenshot of it. So. Pitches love forks.
Yes. So, and you can adjust the level or the quality versus what you're doing. So I'll turn down the level so it'll be a little bit more sensitive. Whenever there's, see, now I can pick up my voice just by talking. So apparently a D range is my voice right now.
You speak around a D.
Yeah.
Or G sharp.
Yeah. Ooh,
I'm a G sharp.
You hit a good.
I hit a good pitch.
Yeah.
Not now though.
Just talking. So it's very clever, and I use that quite often in my classes.
I
did not know that. Did you know that, Paul?
did.
he
She
did.
talked about it a week ago.
Yeah.
I didn't know. That's a good one. That's brilliant.
Okay.
Let's see. What in lessons, I will use Drum Beats Plus, which is a great drum beat app for for Apple. I don't think you can get it for Android, but it's a Mac Apple thing. Drum Beats Plus, which is a great. Instead of using a metronome, I do use a metronome, and it's called, what's it called? Metronome.
It's called metronome.
Anthony Iconvangelo's birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Ian.
Icony.
Happy birthday, Icony. Got a notification. I didn't even know. What's the name of my metronome app? Tempo. That's the one. Tempo. It's great. There's a free version. I have the one, I think it was like $4. So Tempo, I use that a lot. We use the Drum Beats Plus because playing with the metronome sometimes is a little tedious and boring.
Yeah, mine was $1.99 in the App Store. So.
And Drum Beats Plus will do the same thing, except you've got drum beats now instead of just a, a clicking noise. And that makes it a little more fun when you're playing songs. So Drum Beats Plus, Tempo, and then I've got another one that I use sometimes for like jamming, backing track stuff. I'll have to look it up. I don't think I have it on this phone, but as far as recording stuff, currently I just use GarageBand. I'm looking at Paul. Paul and I both use GarageBand for recording stuff, although I'm about to upgrade to Logic, I think, so I can do more
Tell them
things.
what I told you the other day.
I don't recall what you said when I mentioned upgrading to Logic. I do not recall.
What are you going to record?
I was like, thinking about upgrading to Logic so, it can do more stuff. And he's like, yeah, are you actually going to use it? You son of a... Burn. Good one. Nice burn. But yes, maybe. Because when I record, demo stuff, sometimes I actually record it with the real software. Anyways. Yeah, so that's it for right now. For editing video, I just use iMovie. Nothing fancy. I'm probably not going to upgrade anytime soon the video editing software because honestly, iMovie does a really good job. But for recording, yeah. What's the other software that you got?
Pro Tools?
Pro Tools. Paul has Pro Tools, but hasn't used it.
Let me explain.
Let me sum up.
I got Pro Tools because everyone's like, no, we'll only work with you if you work in Pro Tools. So I record everything in GarageBand, and then I move it over to Pro Tools. So then I send it to them, so they think that I actually used Pro Tools. I'm Italian, it happens, Angela.
I know how to work the system.
So I only use it, got it to make other people happy, but everything I record is still in GarageBand.
And they don't even know.
They don't know. They think it's Pro Tools.
They're like, wow, that was great. Yeah, thanks. GarageBand. So yeah, thanks for the question. Just fun guitar. Next question, Metallica 29. Question for Ryan. Have you played the MT15? That's the Mark Tremonti 15 PRS amp. If not, what are you waiting for? All caps. Angela, thank you for all your positivity on Facebook and Instagram. Notice he didn't thank the BitterBassman for all his positivity.
If you're looking for negativity, come check me out.
Yeah, if you want the negativity, follow Paul. Positivity, right there. I just have a beard. I have not played the MT15, Metallica 29, and what I'm waiting for is I just haven't been around one. I don't want to buy one just to have it come in and play it and test it. Because what if I don't like it? And I'm not going to, people do this apparently still sometimes with like Guitar Center and Sam Ash and like the bigger stores. They'll order something and test it or make a YouTube video about it and then return it. Because you get, so a lot of those places you get like 30 days. And I'm like, you know what? I don't really like that. Because as someone who used to work in sales and used to work on commission, you know, you sell something like, oh, awesome, you know, I made some money. I can buy diapers for my kid and I can feed my family. And then it gets returned and you're like, oh, there goes my kid's diapers and food. You stole it from me. Now, I understand if you get a product and you really don't like it or you get it and there was a problem with it, then yes, send it back. I've even done that once or twice. But to order something and get it in just for testing, then send it back, and you know that's what you're going to do, I don't know how I feel about that. You know, I think it's much easier to maybe even just work with the store and go, hey, would you guys like some demos for your stuff? I'd work with you on it. You know, but anyways, and no one around here's got one. Like no one close by in Texas has one, so that's why I haven't played it. But as soon as I get a chance to play one, I will definitely play it. I like me some Alter Bridge and Tremonti, as does Angela. And so, so I will definitely try it out sometimes. Paul's like, no, she doesn't.
What?
He's like, you just don't know her.
You don't even know her. I'm like, I do.
Yes, he just likes to pick on me.
I just like to pick at her.
Yes.
Thanks for the question, Metallica. I will check one out as soon as I can. RT Smudge with the next question. Morning. Well, it is here. I have a question, if I may, about music theory. I've been playing guitar now for around 30 years, and I'm exhausted. I'm like, I would be tired too. That's a long time to just play guitar straight.
I would sleep somewhere in between.
No, you died from hunger 20 years ago.
Yes. Well, if he's a musician, he probably is.
I honestly do not know the first thing about music theory. Not a single clue. I can only just about read music, but can't sight read for toffee. I've always just played what feels and sounds good. I would like to learn the elusive language, but I don't really have the time for lessons, and a lot of people online have vastly different ideas about what's what when it comes to music and guitar theory. Do you lovely people have any thoughts about where to start? Hashtag KTMA. You know, that's a great question, man. For me, where I really learned a lot about theory is actually when I was in college. I had to take music theory courses at the junior college where I went, and that's actually where I learned most of the practical, usable music theory that really works, is in the first 2 semesters of music theory. Now, we had more than that, but everything after the first 2 semesters was not really what I would consider practical for most like guitarists playing rock and pop and jazz. And if you're a punk, you don't need anything. You just need 3 chords and some bitterness.
Jab, jab.
But the problem with, there's no shortage of information that's out there. And you know, I kept my music theory books from when I was in college, because every now and then when I want to brush up something, I just go get the book and flip it open. So you might check that out. Actually, one of One of my theory books, I found it online, like a PDF file version of the very first theory book. I'll try to put a link if I can find it in the description. I may not be able to find it. But if you like to read, you could just go get a music theory book and read it.
What about the Grimoire?
Nah, that's just like scale diagrams, really.
Yeah, but it tells you what notes to play within that key.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to the first, second, third, it's going to give you all the patterns that will fit into that key. It's kind of a cheap way to do it, but it works.
Yeah, it gives you diagrams of all the keys and scales, but I think it leaves out a lot of stuff. So.
Well, he said where to start.
Well, start, yeah. I like what's his name, JustinGuitar.com. He's got some really good stuff. He's a very good teacher, and he kind of starts you from the very basics and takes you on there. And a lot of his stuff is free. You know, he's got a free online guitar lesson stuff, so you can check out Justin's stuff. People don't go to libraries anymore, do they? Because they have the internet. I'm sure there's probably some music theory stuff on Udemy or some of these lesson places, but maybe there's not. I haven't looked at it. Maybe that's something I should do.
Yeah.
Intro to music theory for guitarists. Yeah, there might be an opening, a niche for that, but you guys let me know if who amongst you are all interested in learning what I call practical, usable music theory, and who would be interested in something like that. Because I've been thinking about putting together a course that kind of covers that stuff, because there's a lot of stuff out there in music theory land.
And it's boring.
Yes.
It is boring.
Yes. Some of it is, and
No.
some of it's...
All of it.
Boring.
Not all of it. Some
It's
of it's
useful.
Useful,
But
boring.
Well...
And that's what the thing is that most people get started, and then it's so mind-numbingly boring that then you get frustrated and you think, what's the point? And then you don't finish it. But if someone comes up with a unique way to explain it, you know,
And make it not boring.
In relative to a generation that's used to cartoons and diagrams and energy and explosions and fun.
Explosions.
Instead of, you know, like Michael Bay type stuff, you know, it's like, hey, we're going to do music theory Michael Bay style.
We're going to completely ruin it.
Everybody's gonna be like,
Because he ruined
How
Transformers.
dare you? But no, you know what I'm saying. It's
Lens
like this
flares.
this whole generation of people who are used, even though they might not like it, we're used to seeing certain things when it comes to, you know, what we watch and how we learn. Sesame Street has proven that over the years. They've integrated, but they've kept this music, fun, color, lights, and we have been programmed to understand music, color, fun, and lights when we learn. So if you just have black and white, a guy behind a camera telling you
And a
this
chalkboard.
very, very monotone understanding of music, it becomes boring, and we have damaged the culture of wanting to learn something that is very beautiful and very useful, and we've turned it into something very boring, and it's like a trigonometry class in Latin.
Yeah. You are correct. That is right. Well, that gives me some ideas. Thank you.
That's the reason why I haven't really studied it, because I'm just like, I'm musically, my brain is artistically wired. So whenever I see things, I need to see the colors. Like, I'll watch HGTV, House Hunters, or like even a cooking show while I create, because I need to see somebody being creative. It might even not even be in the same niche as what I'm doing, but I need to watch something creative while I'm being creative, because it spurs on more imagination for me. But if I can't sit and just listen to someone lecture unless there's something, unless they're very colorful or very, you know, lively whenever they're talking, or I will not retain any of the information.
All right. I'm getting some ideas. Yeah, I'm very academic in that sense. Like, I can get out my old music theory textbook and just read it and go, oh yeah, I remember learning this, and like writing music and writing the notes and all that. I'm kind of wired that way a little bit, but not so much. We need to bridge that.
It makes me cry. Like, seriously, and your children are the exact same way. They'll actually start crying.
Yeah, they are. Like, why don't you understand this? It's this. Dut, 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 dut. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yes.
People learn differently. So, oh, great question, RT Smudge. I'm going to consider this and think about it, and probably it's been in the back of my mind actually for a long time to create some kind of coursework to demystify music theory and make it not so boring and, you know, mind numbing. So I'm pretty sure between me and Paul we could figure out a way to make it at least funny or cringy, or both. I don't know.
Inappropriate.
Inappropriate. Absolutely. Paul can make it inappropriate. We can make that happen.
Making things awkward and inappropriate since 1976.
Inappropriate music theory tips with Paul. Oh man. Probably get demonetized. Thanks for the question, RT. Next question. 6 in line. You're all cool bananas. Which is why I must burden you with a great quest. In 1981, Dunlop released their Tortex plectrums to replace tortoise shell. A noble deed, to be sure, so why the bloody hell do they refer to their logo as the turtle logo? It's a tortoise. Love your work and your message. Metal fingers. So it's to replace tortoise shell, but they call it turtle logo. So they don't know the difference. Paul, you know the difference between a turtle and a tortoise? No Googling.
I think tortoise are mostly land creatures and turtles are like water.
You are very smart.
Oh, is it a sea turtle?
A sea turtle is a turtle.
A turtle.
Yeah.
It's just a
Turtles
large
are in the ocean.
But it's not a sea tortoise
Tortoises
or land.
are on land.
Tortoise look like tanks.
Yeah.
The bigger ones that look like tanks. Turtles always have
Like
a
smooth.
smoother.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, snap.
But so sea turtles are
Turtles,
smooth
their shells are more streamlined, and they have the big,
for water.
they have the
for
big
swimming.
like flippers. They do have claws, but they're big.
And
kind of looking.
tortoise have more like elephant type feet.
And turtles have names like Raphael, Leonardo, Michelangelo.
Donatello.
Donatello. Tortoises cannot become ninjas.
No.
Only turtles can
But
become
they can
ninjas.
become ninja masters.
What?
Master Shifu. He was a tortoise.
Kung Fu.
Oh.
Kung Fu is different than ninjutsu.
Ninja.
Kung Fu is Chinese. Ninjutsu is
It's
Japanese. You racist. I can't believe you went there. Angela.
Oh my god. But they can
Well,
become
he was a
masters.
tortoise.
He was a tortoise.
But that's what the Ninja Turtles were. They were tortoises. But why are they called Ninja Turtles? If they're actually Ninja Tortoises.
No, they're turtles.
They're turtles.
They're
They
not
got
tortoises.
smooth backs.
Yeah, they have smooth shells. But Master Shifu had the pointed, like the rough back, and he didn't have the webbed feet. He had the.
Bowser is a tortoise
My world has been turned upside down.
from Mario.
You know, like they have like the tortoise have more like a club foot, where it's you know. They look like elephants.
Sea turtles look like Crush.
And they have the
Dude
spike
Crush.
and they actually have like nails where tortoise have just like flat.
Do you know which ones live longer?
Tortoise.
You did know. You know why?
Because they don't have anybody that'll
Sharks.
eat them. On land.
Sharks.
There's
That's
nothing
why.
big enough on land that can eat a tortoise.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
a shark.
You hit a car with a tortoise, your car would be damaged.
Yeah. So there you go, 6 in line.
I think they're just ignorant. It's just like if it doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey. It's an ape. Chimpanzees are called monkeys all the time by children, especially, but they're not.
They're not actually monkeys.
They're apes.
If it doesn't have a tail, it's a monkey.
No, if it doesn't.
If it doesn't have a tail, it's an ape. If it has a tail, it's a monkey.
If it has a tail, it's a monkey.
Yeah. Well, you know, Jim.
That's what Google says. Tortoises live on land, turtles live in water.
There you go.
Yes, I had to Google it.
I didn't.
She didn't have to Google it. She knew. She knew.
But I knew that based off common sense before Googling it, so.
I did know. I Googled it a couple of days ago when I saw the question, so I can look really smart right now in this moment. But she is actually really smart. I just look smart.
Never looking.
Great question, man. We just had PBS Turtle Hour with RNA Music. And the BitterBassman.
Yes.
Next question, Chivalry218. Hello, RNA. Hope all is well. I was in a situation where I had difficulty picking up the key while jamming. Thoughts on ear training and where to start? Thanks. Hashtag KTMA. Thoughts on ear training, Paul, and finding the key.
That's actually a difficult question. I started learning ear training back in high school. Took private lessons outside of school because I had learned the bass and they did not teach bass in our school.
Why would you? Do you really need to teach bass though?
Well, he said ear training, not bass.
That's right.
Ear
Okay.
training.
Yeah.
So the guy that taught me gave us these little things that look like this that were called cassettes. I don't think they make them anymore. I could be wrong.
I still have some.
But basically, he said the name of the note and then played the pitch for 30 seconds. And I just learned that over and over to learn the pitch by ear. But a trick I do on stage now is if I can't, with all the other instruments playing, pick up someone else's pitch, I cheat and look at their hands. I always look at the bottom string, see what the guitar player is playing, and then I pick it up like that. If that helps. If not, oh well.
Yeah.
Figure it out on your own.
Just learn. Well, there's where knowing a little bit of music theory basic theory can help you. If you know your scale patterns, on your neck, either bass or the guitar.
Well, I was going to say that, but he said figuring out.
Yeah.
Picking it up.
Yeah.
Picking out by your ear. Well, unless you have an instrument in your hand to kind of find it. Most people don't have perfect pitch. Majority of people do not have perfect pitch.
That's why I have the pitch app.
You get the pitch app. Pitches love apps, and you can figure out the key. Knowing like learning your scales and your keys, I think is pretty essential, because if you can have a song that if it's got these 3 chords in it, you're trying to figure out, well, what key are we in? Well, if you know your scales and your keys, if you have a C chord, a D chord, and a G chord, it's like, what key is that? C, D, or G? Well, if you know a little bit of your theory, you'll know that that's actually the key of G, because in the key of G, you have a G major, C major, D major chord. In the key of C, there are no D major chords. That would be C, D minor, G. But that's knowing some basic theory stuff. I think there are some ear training courses I've come across. I mean, I did all that in college. Same thing. Like he learned a lot of that. Paul learned a lot of that in high school. I learned. I learned some of that in high school, but most of it I did more ear training in college. There was a lot of, teacher would play a note and give us the first note, and then she'd play another note, and we had to figure out which note it was by ear. But there's some courses you can do that online. There's probably some CDs you can buy. I think I have one on iTunes. I don't know if it's available anymore. There's some software you can find to help train your ear. That stuff is out there. So it's kind of a combination of things. I mean, I would search out some of that stuff online, find some ear training courses, easy ear training. I know it's out there. I haven't used it in such a long time. I'll do that with my students, but we'll learn intervals. Actually, a great place to start. Very good place to start would be to work on your intervals, intervallic training. What does a second sound like? What does a major third sound like? What does a minor third sound like? You can find that all over the place where they're playing a note and then you're just measuring the distance. Perfect fifth, perfect fourth, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so that's where I would start with learning your basic scales and then look into learning intervals. And there's just a plethora of interval teaching and training online and on YouTube. So yeah, just start in YouTube, learning your intervals, music intervals, not the band intervals. All right, thanks for the question, Chivalry. Maybe we will include that in our inappropriate music theory lessons. Interval training with the BitterBassman. High intensity interval training with Paul and Ryan. He's gonna do the high intensity. I'll do the low intensity stuff. Next question and final question, Walkin' Dead 1369. In your opinion, what amp head does best for guitar as a practice through a 2x12 cab? I live alone, so I don't have to worry about waking up family. The neighbors don't matter. You sound like Paul. No neighbors. They don't matter. Best for practice through a 2x12. Well, that's a good question. I actually have a Black Star HT5. Fluff will be so angry because he hates Black Star amps. It's probably truck driver Sean.
Somebody in the green shirt says Twitter on his shirt.
I don't know who that is.
Big guy. Nope.
Nope. Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. How about yourself?
Good. What can I do for you? We just had to have, it's been a busy day. If you haven't noticed, we're shooting. It's Saturday. The store is open. People are coming in like, hey, what's up with all the lights?
Yes, what are we doing?
We're kind of a big deal here in this little bitty store in the middle of nowhere with all of our lights.
Mood lighting.
Mood lighting, right? So, we're handling business, but shooting videos for you guys. I think the question was practice amp through a 2x12. Really, I mean, you know, anything. If you don't have family to worry about waking up, or you know, neighbors you don't give a crap about whether you wake them up, play whatever you want. But if you are concerned about volume, I was saying I have a Black Star HT5, which is blasphemy if you watch Fluff's channel. He hates Black Star for whatever reason. I got him on super clearance like a year ago. Somebody was blowing him out. Stupid, crazy deal. I'm like, I can't pass this up. So, you know, I use the little HT5. Sounds great through a 2x12. The micro darks, the little orange micros, those sound killer through a 2x12. And those are 15 watts. So, you know, really anything. Get you an MT5 Tremonti amp. MT15, I'm sorry. MT15, Tremonti, you know. But, you know, the best one is whichever one motivates you to sit down and play. Whichever one gets you fired up to go over there and actually flip the switch and start playing. That's all that really matters. So there's a ton of great ones out there. You know, take your pick really. But if you want low volume, the 5 watts are great. I have no complaints. I have no complaints with the Black Star stuff that I bought. But I bought them not to like I'm going to gig or record an album with them, but it's just for you're cute. He's distracting me when you're smiling at me.
I'm sorry.
Are you?
Oh, not me.
Dang it, Paul. Yes, I was obviously
Stop
steering.
Stop batting your eyes at me. So distracting.
So distracted.
Stop breathing. You're so distracted.
You should tell the story. I was making sure she was breathing last night in the middle of the night. I'm like, are you breathing?
I was not even asleep because I couldn't sleep last night. And he reached over and he touched my back. And he touched my back again. And he was like, I'm like,
I don't know.
And I purposely went, just so he can stop.
Yeah, I'm alive.
I'm a very dense like breather. I don't over breathe. I think that's why my heart rate is so low.
You're very shallow breather.
Yeah, I'm like a very
even keel. I don't know.
Breather.
I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll look. I'm like, she's not moving. Let me examine this. Okay, there she goes.
I don't know what it has to do with your question.
I don't know either. But now you know. And knowing's half the battle. So, any of you great people watching, leave your comment about what do you guys think would be a great practice amp to use through a 2x12. Love to hear all the thoughts and the comments, and I appreciate you guys not only asking questions in these videos, but actually going in and leaving your feedback and leaving your thoughts and answers to these questions. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And with that, that is the last question for today. So thank you so much for all of those. Thank you, BitterBassman, for being here. I mean, BitterBassman. Did I say Batman? Did I say that out loud?
I'd say something, but you'd have to believe it out.
You know, I've recently read that if you're swearing in your videos, you're likely to get demonetized. If you just beep it with like a little beep sound, they'll still demonetize it, even though it's not. I'm like, oh, I was doing that just for fun. Even words that weren't swear words, I would just beep them sometimes because it's funny. Cuts down your monetization. Can't have fun at all anymore on YouTube. No fun. No swearing fun, Paul.
I don't swear for fun.
Just
it's like the word "the" to me. It just comes
It's
out.
a contraction.
We could have inappropriate music theory with Paul, but we cannot monetize it.
We'd have to have R2D2 next.
Conjunction, junction, what's your function?
Exactly. Function.
Yes.
All right, so thank you guys so much. Please leave us a question for next week. And leave your comments, of course. And until then, we will see you in another video. But keep the music alive.
Don't forget it.
Music needs you.
And you need the music.
And we need to keep it alive for people who need music.
Like him.
Like Paul. He needs the music. He needs somebody to come over and record music with him.
Any takers? Any takers?
Anybody? Anybody? Because apparently somebody is not good at that. Somebody in this relationship is lazy. And he has a beard. And we will see you guys in the next video. Bye. But I'm getting Logic and I'm going to record stuff.
And use Logic as much as I use Pro Tools.
I'm just going to do it on GarageBand and then import it to Logic. And,
There you go.
Then I'll look like I know what I'm doing. Super fancy. Super fancy.
I gotta go to Tyler. I don't want to go to Tyler.
Why?
I get my oil changed.
Get your oil changed? Yeah, they change oil in Canton, Texas.
Yeah, they also charge me $50 more than they do in Tyler.
That's a problem. Because it's only $10 in gas to get to Tyler.
No.
You could take Nicholas
still,
and he could
it's
buy
still
some
cheaper.
models.
But he'd have to sit there with me for an hour and a half.
It'd be worth it if he bought models. He wouldn't care.
No, he needs to clean.
Yeah, he needs to rest and not be sick.
Yeah, that too. Because you can't be sick for Thanksgiving.
That Texas sign looks awesome.
It does.
You know what looked more awesome is in Ohio.
Another Texas sign.
If we do Ohio, we have to do Alabama. Because those are all the states represented.
Then we'll have to do an Italian flag.
Yeah.
The Jolly Roger flag.
He was a pirate. I was a lady.